Hey, this is Max here, and welcome to the first lesson. Super awesome to have you here. Really cool that you signed up for this. And yeah, we're just going to dive right in. So, for every lesson, I have like a little presentation like this. So, it's just some bullet points of things that we're going to talk about. It's mainly for me so that I don't lose track of like, hey, what did I already talk about and whatnot. But I thought it's also really handy for you if you can see, like, okay, hey, he's talking about this thing now, and he's going to talk about this next. So, I first want to give you like a little short introduction about me, about what you're going to learn, and about how this course is structured. So yeah, about me. So I'm a Dutchie living in Germany. So I'm from the Netherlands, but my girlfriend, she's German. So that's how I ended up here. So in case that you are also from Germany, you can try to ask me questions in German. I'm still learning, so I cannot guarantee that I understand what you're saying, and otherwise I just cheat a bit with Google Translate. So I'm a travel addict and digital nomad. So most of the year, or most of the last few years, I've been traveling remotely while running my business because I do everything online. And the only thing that I basically need is my laptop, my microphone, my webcam, and good internet. So that allowed me to travel in like lots of cool places, mainly in Southeast Asia. So I've been to like Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Cambodia, Vietnam. But I've also been to other cool places like Brazil or even to Iran and lots of places here in Europe. So yeah, I totally love traveling, and I really love that this business allows me to travel wherever I can, because in the end we all want freedom, right? And the reason that I get out of bed every morning is that I want to help people to help other people, because you have some kind of product or service, and my guess is that you also want to help other people. So I want to help you to help those people, and I think the best way for me to do that is by teaching online marketing, and then mainly Facebook Messenger bots. And that's also, yeah, what I do. So I teach people how to leverage messenger marketing, how you can use messenger marketing in your business, because I think this is such a new, exciting way to talk to your audience, because you don't even need like a massive list, because with messenger bots, you have this crazy high open rates, and you have like engagement that is like not the same, like not with these numbers on any other platform out there. So I'm really excited about Facebook Messenger bots. So my guess, if you're following this course, you're probably already playing around with them. So I'm not going to give you like a huge introduction about what Facebook Messenger bots are. Like if you don't know that, just go to my blog, and I also have some articles there. But in this course, you're going to learn something cool. So we're mainly going to talk about how you can create a hyper personalized Facebook Messenger bot that converts subscribers into customers. And this hyper personalized part is really important. You will also see this throughout this course. Like I will give you lots of examples, and if you also read a bit between the line in the messenger bot, then you also see how I am doing this. So also pay attention to that. And we're going to do all this. We're going to convert those subscribers into customers without being slimely or salesly. Like we're not going to like manipulate people, doing like nasty marketing tricks. Like we're going to do everything super ethical, and we're going to build trust with people by providing value. We're actually going to help people, because remember, like my mission is to help you to help other people. And we're going to do this in a way that is like fully automated, and it works for you 24/7, 365. So we're going to create an automated Facebook Messenger bot that converts your subscribers into customers by providing value to them, so that we can build trust. Now, how this little course is structured. So during the lesson, we're going to focus on strategies, and every lesson has an action, because I want to make this super actionable. Like I don't want you to watch these videos and don't take any action. Like in the end of each lesson, I will give you a little action, so like a little thing that you can do in maybe 5, 10, or 15 minutes that is going to help you move forward. And then in the end, there is like a really cool implementation workshop that you can follow, and then we're going to implement all the strategies that you're going to learn in each lesson. So we're going to focus on strategies, and then I will show you how you can implement these. Okay, are you ready? Then let's dive in. So the first thing that I want to talk about is about a funnel. Because I think that the most important thing that you need when you're going to play around with Facebook Messenger bots is a good funnel strategy. Because without the strategy, you're just like winging it. You're just trying things. You really need a strategy. So yeah, what is a funnel? So a funnel is a series of steps that a person or maybe a subscriber needs to go through before they become a customer. And they call this a funnel because a lot of people will go into the first step. And as the people continue along to the next step, some of the people drop out, right? So the size of the audience gets smaller. So I created like a little illustration. So it looks like this, very simple, right? So yeah, the subscribers go in and then these represent the steps, like next step. And you see that it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And in the end, the customers will come out, but not all of them, obviously. That would be awesome, right? But we're not living in like a dream world. So yeah, a real funnel, you put water in the top and then everything comes out in the bottom. But with marketing funnels, it's different because yeah, not everybody is going to become a customer. Marketing funnels will always have leaks. And our goal is to minimize those leaks. So the subscribers go in and then you will lose people along the way. This is totally normal. Like if 100 people come in, it would be like a miracle if 100 people would become a customer. But it's our job to minimize those leaks. Like we have to like fix them. And during this course, you will also learn how you do that. Now, here's a little example of a funnel. So somebody could maybe read a blog post. And then in that blog post, you have an opt-in for a content upgrade. So maybe they're reading, I'm just saying something, they're reading an article about shoes and then you have a checklist about the best shoe. I'm just saying something, it's probably a bad example, but people opt in for this content upgrade and then they go into Messenger, because we're talking about like funnels in Facebook Messenger, right? And then we segment them inside Facebook Messenger. So this is also what part 2 is about. And then we're going to talk about how you can segment your audience by asking a few questions. Now then we have some kind of educational series. So there could be like a mini course like you're watching right now, or it could be like a challenge or something, or it could be tips that you're sending. It could be all kinds of things, something educational, something that's valuable. And then we have a conversion sequence or a conversion event. So this can be a coaching call, a webinar, or simply a landing page. So we will also talking about this later. And then they visit the checkout page and then they become a customer. So this is like a real simple example of what the typical funnel looks like, right? Like they read something, they opt in, they get segmented, they get some valuable things, they get invited for maybe a webinar, they visit the checkout page and they become a customer. Now, I created a really cool funnel blueprint for Messenger. So I will show you that right now. So it is like this. So I call it the Messenger blueprint, but you can also call it yellow print because I love yellow, in case you didn't notice. And it basically works like this. So people always start here at the Messenger path. So they always start at the welcome message. After the welcome message, they go into a segmentation process. This is 3 questions that we're going to ask, and we will also learn this in the next lesson, where we're going to figure out who they are, what their biggest problem is, and what their goals are. Now then, we have a lead magnet delivery. So if they come for the checklist, we deliver the checklist. And then after the checklist, we're going to ask for permission. We say like, hey, is it okay if I'm going to send you more content about XYZ? It's just like a good thing to do, especially with Facebook Messenger bots, because it's all about permission. It's permission marketing. Then after that, we're going to do a smart email capture. So in another lesson, we're also going to talk about this because I think this is really important. Like you definitely should not solely rely on one platform and you should do multi-channel marketing. So you want to get people onto your email list, but also in your bot. It's just good to have them in both. And in that lesson, I will also show you how you can combine that and how you can do really cool stuff for that. Now, then you want to provide value. So you can do that with a mini course, a challenge, or some tips or whatever. And then we have the conversion event. So there can be like a webinar or a coaching call or whatever. Like really depends on what you're doing. And then we have a killer limited time offer. And then depending if they bought or not. So if they said like, hey, I'm not interested, then we unsubscribe them. They're not interested in your product or service. And if they didn't buy, then maybe we're going to put them in some evergreen content. But if they bought, awesome, cool. And then after that, we also put them in the evergreen content. So evergreen content means that every few days or once a week or twice a week, we're going to send them content that is going to help them with something. Just like some short actionable content that keeps them engaged and that also builds trust. Now, and then here on the right side, we have like all the unsubscribe reasons or unsubscribe path, you could call it. So if a subscriber has not been seen for 20 days, we unsubscribe them. If they didn't interact for 40 days, we unsubscribe them. If they ignored our message for 10 times in a row, we unsubscribe them. But on the other way, there's also a detour side, right? So for example, if somebody would come into your welcome message, so usually if they finish that, which most of the people will do, they go to the 3-question interview. But if they do not finish that, they go to the detour. So then we remind them 15 minutes later, we're saying like, hey, Max, do you still want to continue or what? And if they also ignore that, then we say, okay, they did not complete the welcome message, we're going to unsubscribe them. So you need like a system in place there, right? So this, in the end, we're also going to do in the implementation workshop. I will show you how you can implement all these things. But I just want you to show like the strategy of how you could use a funnel inside Facebook Messenger. So somebody opts in to your Messenger bot, they get the welcome message, they get the 3-question mini interview, they get the lead magnet delivery, permission of the evergreen content. Then we do a smart email capture, and then based on if they give their email to us or not, we go to the value thing. So maybe you invite them for like a little mini course or something. Then we have the conversion event, and then the conversion event could have like some kind of killer limited time offer. So maybe you give bonuses away, or maybe you give a discount, or a combination of both. And then depending on that, we also follow another path. So that's basically how a funnel inside Messenger works. And then my little take action thing for today for you is that you download this blueprint and change it to your own needs. So come up with take 15 minutes or maybe even 10 minutes to do this. Like really do not overthink this. Like it does not have to be perfect. Like I know you can spend like a whole day or maybe even a whole week on thinking this out, but this does not have to be perfect. Just download this thing. And I created an empty version for you, like an empty worksheet that you can use to create your funnel. So for example, here I'm saying conversion event. If you know that you are going to use a webinar, then you would say their webinar. Here I set value, value, value. If you're going to do a mini course, then just put their mini course. Maybe if you say lead magnet delivery, maybe if you only have a checklist, just put their checklist. But all the other things are going to be mainly the same. You will always have a welcome message, and in the next lesson you're also going to learn why the mini interview is so important to segment your audience. So yeah, that was this first lesson, and I just wanted to let you know that if you have any questions about anything in this course, then I'm there for you to help you. Just send me an email or send me a message in Messenger, and I'll try to help you as best as I can. Like I'm determined to help you help other people. So the next lesson, I already said it a few times, we're going to talk about how you can personalize your Messenger bot with segmentation. This is really, really important. And I think, this is really one of the most important things for Facebook Messenger bots, but I almost don't see anyone do it. So, okay, see you in the next lesson. You can decide when you want to watch that lesson. Like this is like, I don't know, how do you call it, dynamic experience. Just go over to Messenger and I will ask you there, do you want to receive the next lesson right now or do you want to receive it tomorrow? Okay, see you in the next lesson.